see using my phone. And then I have...
Tanya's waiting for
comments.
I know, I have sent her an invite.
Hello.
So hopefully she will come in.
Hey, Alyssa, can you hear us?
Yes,
Okay.
I can. So I have sent her an invite, and hopefully she will be joining us in a second. I have to now go and get the links and all of that and put it on the website so the parents can watch.
Okay.
Okay, so I will get that up right now, but we can continue the summit now with that.
Okay, as soon as Tanya's in, I'll have a student introduce her.
Okay, hopefully she's getting in. I've sent the invite again. Can you on your end sort of work on that while I take care of the other thing?
What do you need?
Can you work on getting Tanya in?
Yep. Fine. I don't know why that is.
No, but I need to get that poetry to make me some coffee.
Chris,
Oh, here she is.
looks like she's in.
Okay, good. So you guys can start that here, and I will
Are you
start
recording?
recording.
It's live.
Okay, thank
It's
you.
live right now. Hi.
Hi, my name is Josiah, and I'm introducing Tanya Davis. Tanya Davis was the 2011-2012 Poet Laureate of Halifax, Nova Scotia. Her video and poem, How to Be Alone, made in collaboration with Andrea Dorfman, has had over 8 million views on YouTube, attracting fans and supporters from the world over. It was adapted into an illustrated book in October 2013. Published by HarperCollins, she's been commissioned by the likes of CBC, the National Film Board of Canada, and the Canada Games to pen poems and verse for radio, film, and live performance. And she frequently collaborates across artistic genres and media. Tanya tours regularly and internationally as a poet, speaker, and musician, and has released 3 albums and 1 book. She recently played her first film role starring in Andrea Dorfman's upcoming feature, Heartbeat, to be released in fall 2014. And here's Tanya Davis.
Hi. That was a very nice introduction. I've never done a reading over Google Hangouts before. I'm happy to be here. So I'm going to read a couple poems, and then whoever wants to out there in the internet world can ask me some questions. How's my volume? Can you hear me well? Good enough?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. I'm new to the internet, so... okay, this first poem is called Subtlety Was Never My Specialty. Subtlety was never my specialty, and so without much thought to consequence, I showed my heart and soul to many. I left little guessing I was that book lying open in full view, unprotected. Some people told me I should close it up. At least choose more carefully which pages to show, maybe don't expose so much. Apparently there's an appropriate amount of sharing, and I overdo it. People are only comfortable up to a certain point, and yet I go right through it. Well, maybe I missed the training. That day they went over closed book and open book, and how much is too much information. Or else I was there, but the lesson must have lost me, because I thought its elements were slightly off, and how could they possibly be the same for us all? These days, I am trying to find a fine balance of this. Give people a view of my sincere self while keeping some things concealed within, because I was told that I should. And I'm curious to see what it might get me, and I'm hoping it could be something good, like improved defenses, or a heart less tormented. Because if I didn't let as many people in it to begin with, I would be less likely to be injured when they left it. If I could be more subtle, no one would know when I was broken.
I can't stop the broadcast.
As it stands right now, though, I tend to break right open. spill out over coffee shop tables and try not to be noticed by the other patrons because people don't like to see random strangers crying. It makes them anxious. If I could be more subtle, I wouldn't make anybody anxious. I wouldn't make them order their coffees to take away because they were afraid if they got them to stay, I would ask to borrow their hankies. I would be normal, meaning discreet. This could be sort of amazing. But subtlety was never my specialty. And so maybe it's going to be hard to suddenly start changing, holding people away, knowing when to keep them out and when to bring them close and how to differentiate. Anyway, I want people to know me, and so that means the whole me, all the many parts of me, the fragile and the tortured and the happy human heart in me. And so subtlety is just never going to be my specialty. Okay, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read a poem from. This is my book. One book that I got published from a press on PEI, actually, on Prince Edward Island, called Acorn Press, because I'm from PEI. And this is a book. Yeah. So this is a poem about the need to be productive all the time. I think that in our society there's way too much pressure put on us to do all the right things all the time, never to just chill out. So this is a poem that I put to music once. It's on one of my albums. It's called Keep It On My Fridge. I could stretch more, complain less, be more dependable and stress less. I could confess my love to all the ones I've always wanted to. Tell them what I'm thinking if they ever ask. Be honest to myself. Let my hard feelings pass. If the people that I love don't pass my feelings back. I could become that person who always looks serene. The traffic doesn't bother me, neither do the bees. I could do more favors, help more old ladies cross the street. Savor my chocolate and behave more neighborly. I could do lots of things. Engage strangers in conversations, make more offerings. Donate portions of my wages to poor places that were more worse off than me. I could do all of this and then some. Write a list. Keep it on my fridge to keep my attention. But what are my intentions with this? Is it about ethics or having my name mentioned? A frame of reference to guide my efforts or a game that I am in? And if I became that magnanimous person, maybe I would win. But perhaps it's just a means to ease my conscience. Make a list and then cross things off of it so that in this messed up world I could feel content. Well, I'd like to think the peace of mind is a selfless goal, but I guess it depends how you get there, which way you go, and I would like to get there, spend some peaceful time before I get too old, and I might be walking in the right direction, but often it's hard to know. Am I being too hard on myself or not hard enough at all? Do I have enough goals, the right mix of big and small? Realistic hopes or idealistic flaws? I don't know all this. It's why I question it, I guess. Make commitments to improve, lists of goals I should pursue, and then self-reflect to keep myself in check and do the best that I could do. And I think I have time for Thanks. I have time for one more little poem, and then I'll answer some